Hey everybody, my name is Elliot Waters and you're listening to the Dysregulated podcast. As always, thank you for tuning in. Okay, so just a little bit of an update on how things have been the last couple of weeks. And if I had to describe it with a word, it would be flat. We have been flat as a tack, which is very, very frustrating. To put, or to use an example of that, I've just sort of woken up from, or not just sort of, I have woken up, I think, from a 16 to 18 hour sleep. And I think that goes to show how flat we've been, because this whole sleep thing, sleeping during the day, it's reared its ugly head again. So it's been a bit of a challenge. So I guess, yeah, we're sort of in a bit of a depressive slump the last couple of days, but, you know, we're going to try and get out of it, obviously. So one way that I'm trying to do that is I just went for a walk before in the sun, which was good because I've been asleep and in bed for so many hours now that I haven't seen much sunlight. So I went outside, went for a bit of a walk, got some sunlight, and I am feeling a little bit better because of it. So that's the good news. The other big sort of news, I suppose, besides how my mood has presented itself, is that we're on a new medication called lamotrigine. Lamotrigine is a mood stabilizer. Now, down the track, I'm going to do an episode on mood stabilizers in general, but definitely lamotrigine. But the idea of this medication is that it is going to pick me up out of these recurrent depressive slumps, move our baseline upwards. So when we do spiral, if so, we don't go as far down as we ordinarily would, and the frequency of which will also dissipate as well, hopefully. That's the plan. So lamotrigine as a mood stabilizer is a bit different to, say, lithium. Lithium, which I've also used extensively, is very good at putting a cap on the extreme highs, the mania, the hypermania, whereas lamotrigine, on the other hand, looks at the other end of the scale and tries to bring up our baseline out of that depressive sort of zone. There's a few side effects associated with lamotrigine, which I haven't really seen much of yet, but I'm going to explain that in a future episode, because side effects at the moment is a big story of my presentation. Although I don't think that lamotrigine is providing too much trouble with side effects just yet. Admittedly, I'm on a very low dose. We're titrating upwards very slowly, which you have to. But with my other medication, clomipramine, I'm finding I'm having quite a few side effects, which is making things very difficult. But then you've got to do a risk-benefit analysis. So I don't mind side effects if I need side effects, if it's a necessary evil, if it stops, this is clomipramine, if it stops my obsessive thoughts, for example. It is a trade-off that I'm willing to engage with. The question is, how well has it been at stopping my obsessive thoughts? I think I've said before, about 70-80% seem to be stopped, which is great. But the 20 to 30% that are still getting through are still quite severe. And I'm hoping, combined with the lamotrigine, we might be able to turn the dial down even more on the intensity of these obsessive thoughts that are getting through, and also the frequency. That would be good too. So we'll see how we go. So there's a bit of changes on the medication front, but as I said, it deserves its own episode really to go through all that, because there have been some side effects, but there's been some benefits as well. I want to go through that and give a bit of an analysis of how it's all going and the reasons why I'm on these certain medications, what the thinking is behind it, and what the hopeful outcome will be. But yes, we're being very flat, which is a shame, which is annoying, but at the same time, let's see how I can put this. Flat moods are easily controlled. So, you know, I've said before on the show, and I'll probably say it into the future as well, although hopefully not as much as I have, but at times it feels like someone else is behind the wheel, the driving wheel, and steering us into certain directions that maybe we, the self, don't want to go. But these disorders like to jump in the driver's seat and do what they want to do, which is usually to the detriment of the self, of us. So, but one thing about these flat moods is, which is a positive, is that it's easily contained. So the extremes aren't there. We've just got this flat sort of feeling, which isn't enjoyable at all, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, our behaviours and even the content of our thoughts, etc., is within manageable parameters, which is good. We don't have those extremes either end of the scale, whether it's way too manic or way too depressive. We don't have those extremes. So as bad as flat moods are, because they are, that's definitely not the goal. We want to do better than just being a flat mood all the time. But one of the positives is that sort of mood as it expresses itself is within controllable parameters. So there you go. So that's good. So we haven't behaved or thought in particular ways that are overly concerning. It's more just this bleh feeling that we just want to blast out of, which I'm hoping in time the lamotrigine will play a big role in that. So we will see. I'll keep you posted, of course, and I will do that episode soon, all about my medication regimen at present, what we're trying to achieve, and maybe some of the downsides as well, because unfortunately, these medications aren't perfect and side effects ensue as well, and that's definitely part of the story here. So, but that's all to come. And also what's coming soon will be the next DBT skill that I want to teach you. The radical acceptance episodes seem to go down really well, which is awesome. So thank you to everybody who has listened and engaged with the content. I'm really excited about this because, these episodes about the DBT skills, it's really positive, very positive, because we're hopefully going to learn together some real world tips and tricks to make our lives as best as we can. And I reckon that's pretty exciting. That's definitely something that's positive. So that's great. Anyway, that'll do for now. Just a very quick check-in. And I can't wait until I get this next DBT skills series going. We're going to do a episode on medication soon. And I'm telling you, we are getting closer. The first interview on this show will be coming soon. So get excited. It's on its way. I'm going to do a lot of fanfare around it because it's going to be bloody awesome. I'm really excited. So that is coming soon, I promise. Awesome stuff. All right. Thanks for listening, guys, and I'll see you next time. Catch you later. Goodbye.